Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are finally back in the Maine. First shot out the gate, 3 citadels on a broadside Musashi. Yeah, you already know how this one's gonna go. So yeah, this is a piece of a clip from a previous match tonight. I had a lot of pretty solid matches tonight, but I was looking for something spicy, something good for you guys. And so I got a really good one for you guys lined up. But first, let's go ahead and finish off the 2-shot kill on this Musashi, shall we? Wait for it. Pow! Okay, I was a little early on the pow, but he's gone. So you guys know how it do. Anyway, we're going to be on Islands of Ice. And we're going to take the Maine out. Now, the reason I wanted to do this now is because the Maine is one of the ships that's about to be buffed. Does it need a buff? Honestly, not really. I think it's fine, but I'm not going to, get upset when they do buff it. You guys know the deal. I love when they buff ships that I play. I don't play the Maine very often, let's be honest. I prefer the Repub at the tier. But Maine's a pretty solid ship. It doesn't quite have the armor that Montana has, but it's not a god-darn Montana. Right? It's a tier 8. It's supposed to be worse than the legendary tier. So it makes sense. So, but Wargaming has this thing where every ship has to be like even. And when one ship underperforms, they try to buff that ship, despite the fact that the ship is perfectly fine. It's just the people that play the ship that are bad. And I'll show you guys. Like I said, I had several good matches. I had a lot of 115 to 144,000 damage games, but I decided to get a spicy one for you guys, just to really showcase the strength of this thing. So here, we're going to take a shot over the island. It says I can't, but this is why we take those shots, boys. I knew that there was a pretty good chance we could lob that shot, and we do. And what do we get? We knock one of his turrets, we get 7,200 damage. If he decides to fix that turret and somebody sets him on fire, he's going to be burning for a while. So that's the beauty of taking these shots early. 7,200 damage right out. Oh my god. Hello, Musashi. How are you? I would like to have a word with you, please. Alright, now at these ranges, it's going to be struggle bus to try to go through that belt, right? So over distance, we are going to lose some of that penetration power. And we aimed a little bit low, but we did still come up with a pretty solid hit. 5 out of the 10 shells that we sent downrange, that's 50% hit rate at 17.5 kilometers. Is that bad? No. Now here, mines get spotted. I didn't realize this was a mines, okay? I thought this was a Maine. In my head, this is a Maine, not a freaking cruiser. But I took the shot, I was like, dang, he sped up quick. It's because he's a freaking mines, he's a cruiser. But we still get 1 citadel, and it actually caught me off guard. I was like, how did I citadel a Maine at that range? Remember, I just now saw that it was a mines. But we get fortunate here. Iowa kind of caught us off guard. But then, this guy has what can only be described as a sudden rush of crap to the brain. I know, that's Jingle's saying, but good God, dude. Why are you going to knock on my door at the middle of the night, and then turn broadside in front of me? You deserve this, sir. All his health just gone. 5 hits, 3 of them are citadels. At 17 kilometers, well, 16.5 kilometers. Like, we're already at 87,000 damage. We have fired our guns a total of 4 times. Alright? That doesn't scream bad ship to me. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. So this thing, the biggest issue with this is that it is the size of a Montana. We get another shot out at the Musashi here. It doesn't do as much damage. He's angled away from us slightly. Iowa takes another shot, and once again, we get pretty fortunate that Iowa just overpins and does no real damage to us. But Iowa is still just sailing. This man just got clapped for 3 citadels and over 50,000 damage in 1 salvo, and this man is still sailing broadside. Well, Spartan, you're also sailing broadside. I haven't been touched, and so I citadel him again. And now he's got no health left. But I'm also angled against the guys that are to my left. If I were to try to turn in an angle against this Iowa right now, I would be broadside to a Republique and a Pommern. So it's kind of lesser of 2 evils here. Alright, do I go broadside to the Iowa and try to stay angled slightly? Or do I go ahead and go broadside to 2 other battleships? I chose to stay broadside to the Iowa. Especially considering dude hasn't really made me pay for it. And I've been able to absolutely, like, easily avoid any real damage from the other 2 battleships that are shooting me. Because I'm angled. So, a lot of times when you guys see that I'm broadside to people, it's not always that I'm broadside to, be broadside, essentially. I do know how to angle, and I do a pretty good job of angling most of the time. Believe it or not, that's one of the things that I can say I've learned pretty well in this game, is how to tank damage for quite a while. I get focused pretty hard a lot, so I'm used to trying to survive ridiculous odds that most people would not be able to survive as long as I do. But we managed to miss the Musashi there, and you can see we are just measuring this guy up. We're not aiming full waterline at this point. We're aiming slightly higher. We want more shells to hit the target if we can, and you can see I just kind of tweak it a little bit. I just want to see if we're gonna be able to catch this guy. We get the shot out. It looks pretty solid, and are we gonna get a good hit? No. Shatters, bounces. We hit his belt at this range. Not an effective use of my ship. So, now we look at these two, and we're going to go ahead and try to focus down the Republic. He's the lower health ship. He's the more dangerous ship, in my personal opinion. I'm more afraid of a Repub than I am of a freaking Pommern. Pommern is not a scary ship to me, at all. But here we take a shot at superstructure, and blam! 15,000 damage in the superstructure. Once again, doesn't scream bad ship to me. 6 full pins in the superstructure of the freaking Repub. Pommern shoots back at us and does, you know, inconsequential damage, and we're at 147,000 damage already. Musashi's still out there. You can see I'm trying to measure him up. Don't really have a good shot. It's going to be up to our Amagi out there on the edge to really make him pay. He's broadside, and our Amagi is close enough. He should be able to absolutely ruin him. Another superstructure hit and more damage. That one wasn't quite as good. We only got 6,700, I think, out of that one. I think we hit the guns a little bit there, maybe the faceplate of the guns. But here you can see I'm setting up a crossfire with the guy that's behind me. That guy's stationary. I'm trying to get away from the Pommern to open the angle. He has to choose one of us to be angled to. He chooses the guy that's behind me, and that allows me to get the crossfire. This is the stuff that we talk about, like I did in the ranked. We take the shot, and pop goes the weasel. There's our high caliber. 167,000 damage on my side of the map. Doesn't exactly scream, and that's under 7 minutes. Doesn't exactly scream bad ship to me, does it? I don't know about you guys. We only took, you know, very little damage. So we used 1 heal, and we are down a total of 20,000 hit points. Like, come on. Again, does not scream bad ship to me. And I don't think that it needed a buff. I think that people need to learn how to play the game. I think a lot of the balance changes that they make are based on stats that are skewed by bad players, rather than actively participating in the ships and trying to figure out which ones are stronger than others. Ships that get skewed based on skill, such as the Amagi nerf that I've mentioned a gajillion times, such as the upcoming Ruprecht nerf. The Ruprecht is a strong ship, don't get me wrong. But, at the end of the day, Ruprecht is also very capable of being absolutely ruined when it's played poorly. Problem is, very few people have the Ruprecht. I mean, sure, you see them quite often, but the Ruprecht's a pretty, you know, pretty new ship. There isn't a lot of the player base using them, so they're already nerfing the ship, and I think it might be a little bit early. But, again, I don't have a problem with it. I don't play the ship a lot, so if they're going to nerf the stuff that I go up against, then more power to them. But remember, like, Ruprecht has a 27mm bow, I believe. So it can bow tank against 15-inch guns, but it can't bow tank 16-inch guns. So anything 16 inches and above can go through the bow. However, it does have the extended belt and the icebreaker bow, so you have to aim at deck line, especially up close. Conversely, you go through the cheek armor when they open up to try to torp you. Now, the thing about Ruprecht you got to be careful with is Ruprecht has those long-range torpedoes. They're not standard German torpedoes. They also hit like a goddamn truck. But, yeah, they have like 8-kilometer torpedoes rather than 6-kilometer torpedoes. And that catches me off guard a lot. I've had to literally make a mental note every time I go up against a Ruprecht. 8 kilometers, 8 kilometers, 8 kilometers. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. Every time. And they're also kind of slow. And they catch you off guard. I actually got into a match with Cranky Kraken today. And I was in the Maine. And I was doing pretty well. I figured he was trying to torp me around an island in his Ruprecht. And so I turned away. I was like, okay, I'm not going to eat the torps. I'm gonna turn away. I'm going to be smart. I've got to try to do things. He's in a division. I got to try to win this side as best I can. And sure enough, I turn away. No torpedoes. I'm like, okay, we're good. At this point, I'm going to turn back. And as soon as I turn back, I swear to God, the torpedoes lit up. I'm like, mother of God, the luck. But that shot on the carrier was pretty satisfying, not going to lie. Again, 6 shells from a full broadside of 10. Like, this thing hits just as accurately most of the time as Montana. It's not quite as accurate as Montana, but it's right there. And it has 2 less guns than Montana. So I highly recommend anybody who thinks that the ship is bad, just play the ship enough to learn its little keys, like the little things that make it unique. Now, I'm not gonna let you guys sit here for the rest of this game and wait until it ends, because we are not gonna do anything for the rest of the match. We get close towards the end of being able to help, and the battleship ends up ramming our Bismarck, and the destroyer ends up getting killed by the Amalfi, and it's just a waste of our time. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward to the end of the video, and we will pick up at the end. But yeah, so anyway. Don't forget, we are on the path to not 500, I keep saying 500, 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and you guys have been absolutely killing it this far. So if you guys haven't yet subscribed and you enjoy watching what I do, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. It is completely free. Just takes a second of your time to click the button. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this battle. It was a fun match. Hopefully you enjoyed the nice little smack on the Musashis early in the game, the Iowa. But top of the leaderboard, 2,798 base XP, 3 kills, almost 200,000 damage. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about whether or not they actually pay attention to when ships should be buffed and nerfed versus when they maybe don't need to. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.